So, how are you guys?
Fine.
The future is fine.
Yo.
Yeah, we'll get back on track. We'll figure it out. You look really annoyed today, Katie. Is it just from what we talked about earlier with it's just been a long day? Or was it that thing that's down there just hanging out pretending like he's just going to, I guess, produce from backstage because he's bored and has nothing better?
Like, I didn't know he was still here.
Isn't Melissa somewhere, Vince? You don't see him down there? You guys don't see that. Only I see that.
No. I just see myself down in the corner.
Yeah, no, he's still here. Backstage. I changed his name to Bye. He's the only one that can see it.
If you come in through your StreamYard, you can see him, but if a guest comes in, then they can't.
Bakley, your beard does look nice.
Oh, thanks.
I don't use StreamYard, so I don't know.
How are you, Juss? You good?
Muted myself. My bad. Everything's all good. I can't wait to talk about all the crazy ass kills. The reason why, me and Katie were talking about this before in the chat, like why we're careful when we drive in certain locations. Like double, triple checking. Like, is this roller coaster okay? You know what I'm saying? Is it really worthy if I should get this coffee now? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't like coffee, so I don't have to worry about that.
Don't go
3D movies?
Don't go into a tanning booth?
Yeah. we will talk about the tanning booth. So that
I don't have to worry about the hair salon. I don't have to worry about the hair salon.
Me neither. Yeah, no, that three of us are safe from a hair salon.
That's right.
The reason I had to dip, you were not first, Will. You were not.
Yeah, Will was not. He was first on Twitch.
Yeah. The reason I had to dip was so I had this really bad habit of like not locking my doors when I met Kate, and she has over the years pounded into my head especially now we have a daughter and everything, all of the bad things that could happen. Like before, it was really just me or like my buddy John. So like if someone broke in, I'm like I'll deal with it. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
But she's really pounded into my head like I need to lock the doors because of her safety, because of Zoe's safety. So now that we're in the new house, I have this really bad habit of coming inside before her when she's out on the back porch and locking the back sliding glass door, which doesn't have like a key or anything. It's just locked. And she specifically asked me to not lock the door when I went in. And I was thinking about coming down here and doing this. And it's now, like I told her, I'm like, it's your fault. Like I didn't lock shit. And you beat it bad. And now it's just a like I don't even think about it. It's just a habit. I come in, I flick the lock. I come in, I flick the lock. Like, it is what it is. So I got in trouble. And then I come back, and Vince was fucking around. He's still just down there waving. I'm the only one that can see him. What up? All right. Banners. We'll take that away. If you guys are ready, I'll run the intro.
Yay.
Sounds good.
Hello and welcome to your number one horror podcast on Pornhub, Getting Offed. I am your host, the patron saint of podcasting, the quintessential stud muffin of podcasting, the warden Matt Ritter. Katie, stop rolling your eyes when I say that. It's true. Accept it. And I am here with my co-host this evening. You got 3/4 of the core four. You have Miss Katie Kinsey Bebe, host of Sheely Showcase Inside the Mind of in the Crowd, even though it's not really a thing. Story time with Miss Katie Kinsey Bebe. Inside the Mind of. all these good things, and pretty much just does all the shows for everybody. She yeah. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. She spends a lot of time podcasting.
Yeah. Yeah. You can say what you want to say off air, if you remember.
Also, the other member of the Core Four, host of the Get You podcast, who stole my co-host, who then decided to come on and distract me and get me off my game for a little bit, for shits and giggles, because he lost and Saw did not win our poll. It's your boy Juss.
Yo, we live, Matt? Bakley?
We're live.
What's our final destination, motherfucker?
Listen, bro, I'm doing the introductions. You're not supposed to say who the other guy is until I introduce him. You're not allowed to address him until he's been introduced. It's as if he's not there.
Change my name now.
However, from Cage by IQ, from what I understand, now part of the Bloodline Entertainment Network in some shape, form, or capacity.
Yeah,
some way, shape, or form.
And my favorite soulless ginger that isn't part of Team Firecrotch. It's Dan Bakley. What's going on, Dan?
Not much. I'm glad to be able to talk about this. And yes, Team Firecrotch, they're the number ones, and I'll be the number two.
Tears of the Kingdom apparently is Game of the Year for Will. That's nice. That's nice. Katie's the GOAT, according to Allison.
That's me.
And Vince did leave. Now he's in the chat. Hi, Vince. Sorry, Saw didn't win the poll, because if it did, you'd be here instead of Dan. But Final Destination was the more popular choice when we did our poll of what you guys wanted to hear us talk about, what you guys wanted to watch, what you wanted to see. It's no evil head, but we'll make it work.
This is better than that.
For you.
For me.
Vince is here for Bakley's Beard. So, yeah, we are here to talk the Final Destination films. I think it is, just said it right before we went live, or right before we ran the intro. It's almost, I think, overstated at this point that, these are the movies that have kind of given caution to an entire, maybe two generations at this point, because you're not technically a millennial, are you, Katie?
I'm a zillennial. I'm 96, so I'm the cusp between the two. So we kind of just created our own name for ourselves.
Yeah, no, multiple generations affected by these movies. Probably the most famous scene we'll talk about when we talk about Final Destination 2. It's the one that anytime someone says Final Destination, you always hear, "That's why I can't drive up behind." We'll get there. We know.
True.
We know.
Because it's true. It's true.
But kick it off with the first Final Destination, the one that started it all. Devon Sawa, my boy Tony Todd is in the majority of these, essentially playing death, playing a mortician who is like the manifestation of death that kind of lets them know what's going on and guides the characters. But some kids hop on a plane to go to Paris, and one of them freaks the fuck out. Stifler's in this as well.
Stiflers.
Yeah.
They get into a fight. Some of them get kicked off the plane, and then as they're sitting there, the premonition of the explosion, not in his pants, but in the sky that he had while sitting on the plane, comes to fruition, and everyone else dies, and now everyone's mad at him, even though he saved their lives. And then we find out that death kind of has a pattern, a plan, and it doesn't like being cheated, so it's coming back slowly for the students and teachers that were no longer on the plane, killing them one by one. And only one of by the end of this movie, two survive, but by the next movie, only one has survived. So,
which pisses me off.
And
how you going to do him like crazy. That?
What's the story about it, Bakley?
I said the story behind him not coming back with the production is crazy, and then their way of killing him off, per se, was they they did a good job of doing a nod because there's actual the way they had him die off is a way that I think one of the producers died in real life with the brick falling down and hitting him on the head.
Oh,
What was the reason why Devon Sawa didn't come back?
He's saying it was something to do with non-payment and like him not getting paid for some of the movie, and then they're trying to do a contractual issue, and then they just couldn't reach an agreement.
Okay. This was actually like right around like the height of Devon Sawa's career. Like we see him now as Chucky fans playing multiple roles on the Chucky TV show. However, you know, he was doing Idle Hands around this time. He's doing Final Destination. The mid-90s was Devon Sawa's time to shine, and this was a prime example of it. What are some of your, like I said, death is coming for them, and it's manifesting their death. It's causing things that shouldn't naturally be occurring to occur to make them die. It's not like there's a physical, there's no Michael Myers, there's no Ghostface, there's nobody coming in. It's an ominous, horny breeze blowing through, like the one from Evil Dead that, you know, possess trees and people get fucked by elevators and shit. An ominous, horny breeze comes through and starts knocking shit over and, you know, dominoing an effect that leads to people dying in various fucked up ways. But in the first movie, what are some of your favorite deaths?
Terry getting hit by that bus out of fucking nowhere.
Oh my god!
Damn, poor Terry. We care about Devon Sawa. We do. This way,
you know,
Chucky.
Bakley's little brother Chucky, and that awesome TV show he's got.
Yeah. There's Todd in the bathroom by the, of course, the wire.
Oh my gosh!
I think my favorite it's between two. It's the train scene because of how the actual death comes from the train scene when, you know, the car stalls on the tracks and you're struggling to get out, and then how he gets decapitated despite everyone kind of getting out of the car. You think everyone's safe, or it's the teacher just because of the. So Devon Sawa, his character gets fucking crazy. He starts seeing these patterns. He starts seeing, you know, who's going to die next and figuring things out. And he becomes unstable. The teacher, the really hot teacher, wants nothing to do with him, wants him to stay the fuck away. But he can't stop trying to save people because he feels now he's responsible because he saved them the first time. And it's essentially like his presence that leads to like her being frazzled in the first place. And it also makes him look like he's the killer because he keeps showing up at the scene of all of the deaths after he pulled everyone off the plane and it blew up. It's like, oh, you got off the plane and the plane blew up. And now all of the people that may or may not know that you may have blown up that plane are slowly dying. You're just at all the scenes of these crimes. Like,
And also, like, he takes the knife out of the teacher and then just throws it. Homie, your fingerprints, all up on the knife. Your shoe print and the blood.
Right.
And then after that, he goes running to her cabin in the woods, and then he places everything so he doesn't die. But then he's like, "I gotta keep myself away from each other." But just like she said, he pulls a knife out. It's like, and then you go run away. You're just asking for trouble there.
Yep. The one that scared me the most, because I've said this, I when it comes to movies and TV shows, I care far more for animals than I do for people. Was Clear because of her dog being outside by the pool with the electrical wire and everything, and I thought the dog was going to get it too. I was like, don't do that. It's the poor puppy.
Don't.
Like Clear can go. Don't get me wrong. Loved her in Varsity. Listen, loved her in Varsity Blues. Whipped cream bikini all day long. This movie.
Oh yes.
Don't ever talk about Allie Larder like that. How dare you? Also, I do kind of hate that her name is Clear.
Rivers.
And not Claire. Like, fuck.
Well, because her last name's Rivers and her parents were weird.
Clearly. She's doing fucking weird art shit in her garage.
The dog does not die. You're okay. However, Evil Dead 2013, the dog does die, but it's still a great movie.
True. Grandpa. Which, terrible name for a dog. But
Juss, what about you?
I think Bakley took mine because like every time I'm in the shower, I always make sure that like I have like pads of like paper towel, like not paper towels, towels like on the ground, and making sure that like I could see everything that's supposed to be like all hooked up. Because just the fact that like he was like choked up and everything, that the way it went, it's just like, I think I'm just gonna just do a hand bath wash instead of doing a normal shower.
I always
You
dry
know?
the floor before and after I
Yeah.
get out. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I say I put the towels on the ground.
Is there anything in your bathroom that could accident? Like, do you have one of those hanging fucking like?
he's like a clothes wire.
Yeah, like he had a clothes
It
wire.
wasn't. Yeah.
It was not a normal bar for your fucking.
No.
Though I suppose you could still trip, stumble, fall into the curtain, get wrapped up in the curtain, and suffocate. So like, there's that.
Freaking heck.
Well, you can
True.
trip,
Like,
fall, and hit your head on the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I was gonna say. Like, I have like where it's like a door, right? It's a clear door, so I could slip and like go through there and then hit my head in the toilet,
Like a glass door.
like a glass door. Yeah.
So you
Yes,
could just
like a
slip
glass
and fall through there and cut yourself up. You know what? Fuck it. We're not talking
Yeah.
Final Destination anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to A Million Ways to Die in Your Bathroom, hosted by the Warden Matt Ritter. What other ways you guys think you guys know? This movie abso-fucking-lutely just because you don't really know where to go from here, and every movie is essentially the same thing. It's like Fast and the Furious before Fast and the Furious. Like it's the same fucking thing over and over and over again, and it gets a little more ridiculous because you have to up the ante. I know Just is really excited to talk about roller coasters. It's his favorite. So,
We're not there yet. Soon.
the most iconic scene, I believe, in all of the Final Fantasy films takes place in Final Fantasy 2. As I said, it's the one that anytime someone mentions Final Fantasy, it's Will slipped and went through the door the other day, and it just opened for him, though. Oh, so he didn't, like, break through the door.
Oh.
Why did you say Final Fantasy?
Because Vince. Vince came in here and had me all fucked up and kept calling, oh, is that like Final Fantasy? And now it's in my head. And like I said, it's been a long day.
Final Destination.
So
Final Destination.
just correct me as we go. Final Destination 2, the most famous scene. Like I said, the one that when you say Final Destination, everyone fucking talks about. So some kids going on a little road trip, gonna have some fun, drink, do drugs, have sex, things that kids do. And as they're about to get out onto the expressway, unbeknownst to us, because we don't know that this is at first a premonition, we watch a complete and total massacre unfold across the highway with multiple people getting slaughtered thanks to logs falling off a log truck, which again is why no one follows behind log trucks and everyone's afraid of them, and so on and so forth. Just all sorts of shit. This is also, I thought it was 3, but it's not. This is also the first Final Fantasy, or not, Final Destination. I thought it. To introduce titties, which was a big boom. The chick on the back of the motorcycle.
Well, they showed in the Penthouse magazine in the first one, but like
that doesn't count.
live titties.
Yes, no, showing titties in magazines
There you go.
doesn't count.
Yeah. I was just saying,
like Janelle Monáe.
Yes, like that.
Tasteful.
Yes.
Might look at that when I get off here again. Since we're getting off.
Delicious.
But yeah, no. So she snaps out of it. She's sitting there. There's a whole line of people waiting behind her to get off or to get onto the expressway.
Yes.
She starts seeing the cars pass as she saw them in her vision. She's freaking out. She blocks it. She won't let anyone go. Cops coming up to her. Her friends are freaking out because they got weed. And just as everything's kind of, what's going on? What are you doing? Well, you got to move this and that. The accident happens, and all of the people that were behind her waiting to get off the entrance ramp onto the expressway are also now saved. And you guessed it, Death is not happy about that and wants to kill them. This one was interesting, though, because they introduced before it was like, oh, we'll just, you know, if I avoid death, then it skips me and it goes to the next person, and we just do this for eternity. Here they tried to introduce a way to erase death's plan by introducing a new life. If a new life is born, supposedly blah 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 blah. So we again go through a whole slew. We got Justin. Is he frozen?
I think so.
Yeah.
God damn it. I really wanted to talk about the fucking lottery. Juss, you there? Hi, Juss. Can you hear me?
Hey, what's up?
Talk to me about the lottery winner.
Oh my god. So like that person was like, okay, so that person was like, I don't know. I mean, he was a lottery winner, but like he was like the worst type of lottery winner, right? Like, why would you go and eat like takeout food? Like, you just want lottery, real food. And he was microwaving everything wrong, right? Like, if you get takeout food, put it in an actual like bowl, and not actually warm up the actual like takeout thing, because it's got that silver thing that seals. Obviously, you're not gonna put silver in the microwave, right? Because that's what leads to the whole blowing up thing, you know. And the motherfucker buys a Rolex, drops that shit. Oh, like, let me go in the sink and go do that. Like, this guy kind of deserved what he was getting, you know.
That entire scene, like everyone talks about the log scene, but for me, that's the scene, because everything that dude did, everything that he had in his apartment, everything that was going on was a fucking hazard. From him cooking Chinese with magnets that fell into it, and, you know, reheating raw food, and sticking his hand in the garbage disposal, and all of these things, starting the fire, escaping, and then, of course, the way he dies. The fire escape doesn't drop. He keeps jumping on it. It falls. He jumps down, slips on his Chinese food, and then the fire escape releases directly into his eye. Right after he won the lottery.
I can't do.
Well, it paused. Remember, it like paused, and then it hit his eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gross.
The other fun iteration here is that Clear checked herself into a mental institution. Clear from the first movie. She's blonde now too, by the way. So that she was in a padded room so nothing could happen to her, because it was the only way to keep herself safe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame her.
Well,
she was only a survivor.
You don't blame her until you realize that then she decides that she survived that long. Why don't I step out into the world and take a risk? And how does that work out for her?
Hey, she wanted to try and help other people.
Stupidest mistake anyone's ever made.
No, I feel like people make worse mistakes in these movies.
No, helping other people is always the worst mistake you can make.
That's kind of true.
She died because she helped other people.
In a blazing inferno at the end of the movie.
Bakley, favorite kill?
I believe it was in this one. I would have to I don't know if that was the same one with the barbecue exploding.
That was the
one. So that's the very end of the movie. So there's a whole scene. So like I said, like there was a pregnant woman, and the whole thing is like they need to have her have this baby, and as long as she has this baby and this new life is brought into the world, and that's what they thought, then everything would be okay. So they're rushing to get to like this pregnant woman. They end up like off-road near a farm. Some people are pinned, some shit's going on, and the cokehead ends up saving a kid from his eventual death. And then at the end of the movie, after everyone's safe, everything's come to fruition, everything's done, you know, the main girl drowns, and then she's brought back to life, and that is the life that blah 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 blah. Like, she died and came back, and that's what cured everything. The kid that the dude saved blows up with the barbecue at the very end.
Wild. What a turn of events.
Well, you had that, and then also you had like the leaking gas tank from the crashed truck with the gas that went down and started and exploded, and then you had the barbed wire fence.
That one was cool. That one was fucking awesome.
I feel bad for that chick though, because she's just sitting in the car and someone like scares her and the airbag goes off and
well, it's not that he scares her. He's trying to like it's the firefighter trying to use like the jaws of life to get her out, and then he like she was like, "Oh, keep it down," and then he's like, "Okay," and then just jams it into the car. That causes it to go off and kills her. So it's negligence.
There was a pipe poking through the back of her driver's seat headrest that narrowly missed her. Unfortunately, the airbag then shoved her face back into that and, finished the job.
Mm-hmm. What about the dentist scene?
The what?
That's like probably like the dentist scene when the kid's like getting the dentist, remember? In this movie, like he's getting the freaking thing comes into his mouth that like I don't know, whatever that those birds or whatever that was on top of him.
Yeah, what do they call it in a fucking nursery?
Mobile.
Yeah.
You have a child. Why do I know this?
She doesn't use one of those anymore. It's been like a year.
Yeah.
No,
like really like child stuff. They're just like decorations for the kids.
Like
and they
why
fall
is that
on his
above?
mouth and he like can't breathe. And
Why
they just take it out the last minute. And
maybe it's like hypnotic. It's soothing.
I think it's a thing.
Right, something like that.
Poor placement.
But nothing even happens there. Like you get all scared, and then that's not what ends up killing him. How does he die, Juss?
No. He decides to go like, when you see birds outside and you just wanted to run at them so they all just fly in the air. So that's what that kid did. And but the birds distract these people that are holding this glass, and the glass falls from their hands and it falls on him. But the way he dies is such a cartoony way. He just like an accordion, just like smashes up, You don't
think that's how it happens in real life?
I mean, I haven't seen it, but
we could test that theory. We could get a big piece of glass and drop it on somebody, see what happens.
Good.
There's definitely a delay for Justin.
Oh,
yeah. TikTok? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There always is.
Anything else from Final Destination 2 you guys want to talk about, or you think we need to touch on?
I'll probably say that the drowning scene, which she technically does die, but then she gets revived, and they kind of introduce the fact that she kind of, I wouldn't say cheated death, but it wasn't the death's way of her dying, so it kind of like changed things for her because she took matters into her own hands, and then it kind of changed everything around that.
And it's essentially saved everyone except for that kid that was supposed to die earlier and didn't because the dude pulled him out of death's, shit. Yeah, Clear got blown up in, like you said, a blaze of glory in the hospital.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Trying to save the dude. So everyone talks about the log truck, right?
Yeah.
But no one really, they're all like, oh, I don't want to be behind a log truck because logs fall off and Final Destination. But no one talks about how evil that fucking log truck really is, because at the end of the opening scene, when all of the shit's crashing, you see that log truck coming through, just barreling through cars and debris and fire and smashing into her at the very end before she wakes up.
Yeah.
Being the thing that kills her, nonstop. It looks like one of the trucks off the fucking cover of a Twisted Metal fucking video game from the 90s.
Yeah.
That truck was the embodiment of death in this movie.
That's the main villain.
Yes.
That truck.
All right. Final Destination 3. We get away from Clear and all of this, and we have a new group of kids, new premonition, and this time they're on a roller coaster, and poorly maintained roller coaster, might I add. Everything that could go wrong does go wrong. Tracks are breaking, cars are flying, people are dying, getting decapitated, all sorts of crazy shit's happening, and then poor girl wakes up and freaks out, and everyone gets off the roller coaster, and She saves a bunch of lives. Mostly people she doesn't even like or get along with.
Her boyfriend dies on the roller coaster
Yeah.
because he's not allowed to get off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we again follow Death as it tries to, and each time like Death takes a new route. Like the first time it's like I'm following the path of how they would have died, and then it's like, oh, they're killing us backwards from how we would have died or whatever. She uses pictures because she's a photographer, and this was a class trip to kind of figure out who was on the roller coaster and who survived and who might be next. And then it's revealed at the very end that the one person she can't figure out was her little sister who wasn't supposed to go, who then got on the roller coaster. Blah, 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 blah. Right off the bat, my tanning bed.
Yeah. But like, honestly, those bitches fucking deserved it.
Yes.
They disobeyed every single rule that the tanning salon had. That's karma. That's 1,000% on them.
I mean, the dude tried to hold the door open with a bottle of squeezed suntan lotion, though. Like,
they brought in big gulps and they weren't supposed to.
Right.
They fucked with the temperature and they weren't supposed to. Karma.
I mean, the temperature also kind of fucked with itself at some point.
After it got zappity zap from the condensation of the big gulp.
And the shelf fell down and pinned them both in there, so they couldn't get out.
Just saying. What I mean, the best kill in the movie, but like karma. They deserve.
And also titties.
And titties.
Dos tetas.
Wouldn't that technically be 4 titties?
What?
Wouldn't they technically be 4 titties? Because it's
it's 2 pairs.
2 pairs. You gotta specify.
Yes. I don't know many people running around with one teta.
Hey, you never know.
I mean, there are, but I don't know a lot of people.
Tata.
What are some of you guys? This all kind of culminates at like a 4th of July celebration.
It's
fireworks
like a bicentennial.
Something.
It's like a reenactment of
fucking Benjamin Franklin's there and shit.
Yeah.
I was going to mention that. I was going to mention the flagpole to the heart.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna.
Jess, you got like a 5-minute delay. We gotta let you catch up. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's
4.
fine.
When I got to 4 and I stopped, that's when I heard you talk.
I'll just say the roller coaster thing.
So like the opening scene with the roller coaster.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably like the worst, best kill. They had the most people. The guy had it's weird though, because the guy had that camera and he's telling the girls in front to like show like their boobs, right? But it's like, how could they do that with the harness? You know?
Also, wasn't he in front of them? So like,
listen, where there is a will, there is a way.
Yeah, so you have to do this weird.
Where there's a will, there's a way. The titties will be freed. All right. Any other kills from 3 that stick out? Just this was, you said, your least favorite, right? No, he froze.
No.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah.
no, he was moving the whole time. He's
Oh.
Jasmine.
Can you hear me?
Oh, no.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure Juss said this was his least favorite in the group chat. Anything else notable?
I didn't mind this one. I'll probably say that getting impaled at the end as well. Like they had a couple of scenes at the end. I said the flagpole one. I believe her name was Wendy. She got impaled, after trying to dodge the fireworks.
Yep.
And towards the end, that was kind of gruesome because you just see the top half of her, and then you see the blood gushing out from the other end, of course.
Juss is going to take off because his internet's not cooperating, so it'll be the three of us. Juss, we love you. Thank you. Go follow him at Get Yo Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. Wow,
Ooh,
that's
I don't like that.
No.
There we go. Well, there's one kill. It's the nail gun.
Oh,
kill.
Yes. In the warehouse with the two goth kids.
That poor girl. She's slips, doof, back of the head. Ugh. That one hurts.
But again, like you talked about those girls, like these two didn't want to believe shit, didn't want to hear any of it. Fuck you, fuck off, blah, blah, blah. Like they were out. And of all the people, I thought they'd be the ones that would be like really into this. Like,
yeah, you'd think.
Thought they'd be about it.
Guess not.
So what I love about this is, especially this franchise, it's always the way they try and set you up and fake you out, because you never know what's going to kill them. Like she has these she's looking at these pictures, and that gives her these, her idea of how people are going to die, like certain pictures that she took. So she sees the flash go off, right? So then she thinks, oh, because the flash went off, it's going to be the fireworks. And of course, all the stuff is happening around the fireworks that makes you think that the fireworks are going to blow up and kill somebody. They do not.
They do not.
They lead to somebody dying, but the fireworks are not the cause of death.
It's like a domino. It's like a domino effect where, just like you said, they look like they're going to be the cause, but they're the cause of other things that happen around that coincides with the death.
Yep. Same thing like with the girls in the tanning bed. There's like overexposure on the, like it looks like they're burning or whatever. Like all these different things that we see. You know what? I think now, before we get into our final two movies, is a perfect time for a word from our sponsors.
Do you want to spice things up in the bedroom? Then it's time to check out Adam and Eve. Because you see, Adam and Eve is the leading adult toy store that offers a wide range of products to help you explore your sexual desires. Whether you're looking for something to use solo or with a partner, they have everything you need to satisfy your cravings. From vibrators to lingerie, bondage gear to lubricants, AdamandEve.com has it all. And the best part, you can shop with confidence, knowing that all their products are of high quality and backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. That means whether you bought a dildo, sex swing, penis ring, vibrator, anal sex toy, bondage toy, couples toy, lube, or accessory, you can get a refund within 90 days if you're not 100% satisfied. No questions asked. And right now, as a special offer to our listeners, Adam and Eve is giving you 50% off almost any item on their website. That's right, 50% off. And if you act now, you'll also get free shipping. So go to adamandeve.creationworld.com and use the offer code erotica at checkout. That's erotica at adamandeve.creationworld.com for 50% off almost any item and free shipping. Don't wait. This offer won't last very long. The link is in the description. Attention dog lovers. Are you looking for high quality products to spoil your furry friend? Then you need to check out dog.com. Because you see, dog.com is the go-to online store for all your dog-related needs. They offer a huge selection of dog food, treats, beds, and more. Plus, they have products for all types of dogs, from puppies to seniors and everything in between. And the best part, you can shop with confidence knowing that all their products are made with your dog's health and happiness in mind. Dog.com only stocks top-rated brands that you can trust, so you can rest easy knowing your dog is getting the best. And right now, as a special offer to our listeners, Dog.com is doing a big warehouse clearance sale. And all you have to do is go to dog.creationworld.com and you can get up to 80% off on all sorts of items like toys, treats, bones, harnesses, bowls, leashes, and anything else you can think of. So go to dog.creationworld.com and take advantage of this sale right now. Spoil your furry friend with the best products from dog.creationworld.com today. Link is in the description. Are you tired of feeling sluggish and unfocused throughout the day? Then it's time to try Dubby, the ultimate energy source. Dubby is a powerful, clean energy drink that is designed to help you stay alert and focused no matter what life throws your way. Whether you're a student, a busy professional, an athlete, or especially a gamer, Dubby can give you the boost you need to take on the day or the night. It also contains important aminos and vitamins that canned energy drinks simply don't have. And the best part, Dubby is made with high quality ingredients and is completely sugar-free, maltodextrin-free, and is keto-friendly. So you can enjoy the energy boost without any of the crash, jitters, or angst that comes with traditional energy drinks. Simply mix Dubby with water and you'll have a delicious, refreshing energy drink that can help you power through your entire day. And with a variety of flavors to choose from, including Galaxy Grenade, Beach and Peach, and Dragonade, you're sure to find one that you love. So go to dubby.creationworld.com and order your Dubby today. And for a limited time, use code Creatia at checkout to get 10% off your order. That's Creatia at dubby.creationworld.com for 10% off. Try Dubby today and feel the difference. The link is in the description.
Listen, I'm like Tim. I'm never going to get over the fact that there are flying dildos and all sorts of other things going on here.
Amazing.
I've seen it 3 times now, and just watching all that stuff drop in the Adam and Eve commercial gets me every fucking time. Speaking of things dropping, a racetrack drops on poor unsuspecting bystanders in Final Destination 4, or as it's called, The Final Destination. Assuming this was supposed to be the last one, but it wasn't. It's still not. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is probably my least favorite because this is the one I never remember. I was literally sitting outside with my wife this morning and I'm talking to her and I'm like, all right, so I'm trying to remember these. So 1 was the plane, 2 was the freeway, 3 was the roller coaster, 5 was the bridge. What the fuck was 4? And then she's like, I think 4 was the roller coaster. I'm like, no, 3 was the roller coaster. And I actually had to go look. And when I looked, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. The racetrack.
Of course it was the racetrack. This is honestly like the worst one though.
Yeah. It's something basic that happens all the time. If you watch NASCAR, but it's not something where like a car will go flying into the stands. It's just you see that those type of accidents on the track all the time.
Yeah. And it's not in a rundown fucking basically already collapsing arena that these cars are riding in. But that's essentially what happens. You get an accident on the track that spirals out of control, tires are flying, heads are falling, buildings collapsing, people are being crushed and trampled and stomped to death.
In 3D.
In 3D. Very important. In 3D. Which always makes it worse. If you're a horror fan, you know 3D, except for Piranha 3D. Always makes it worse. Again, premonition, figure it out, people freak out. They even save a racist. They're like, that's the thing. Got him out of there. Though his death is probably my favorite. So
oh yeah. Yeah, his death is fun. Well deserved.
But yeah, other than a racist tow truck driver getting dragged by his own tow truck down the road to his death and catching on fire, other kills that you guys liked from this one?
Is this the one? See, I get 4 and 5 mixed up. Is this the one where it's like in the premonition, but it's the escalator and her leg gets crushed and then she just goes in?
Yeah, the mall. This is the mall.
Okay, then yeah, I like that. Even though it's premonition, but like it's still. That's why you tie your shoes, folks. Tie your shoes. And you get on some escalators. Yes, this is the pool one.
Yes, the dude getting his asshole sucked to the bottom of the pool. Yeah.
You got the hair salon one where in this one where the lawnmower hits the stone and it bounces around and hits the right in between the eyes, I believe it is.
No, it
And
takes out
that's
the full eye.
and
Oh,
that
that's it,
like I
yes.
said, every one of these movies has one death where like there's so much going on that you think is going to be, and then it's always something out of left field, and that was this one for this movie. Because
Mhm.
she's in the hair salon, her kids are running around, all this shit is happening. You think like she's gonna get cut by the barber or the stylist, or all these things that are happening in the hair salon, and it's nothing in the hair salon that ends up causing the death. Like,
No. I'm also like so sick of them doing like eye related things in like 3 of them. Stop. I have a fear of that, especially in the 5th one. That's why I'm never getting LASIK. We won't get there.
And I like with the domino effect ones where it keeps you looking. It's like you got to watch because you're like, oh, is it going to be this? Oh, wait, nothing happens there. But then it just keeps on going. It's like level 1, level 2, level 3, and then it hits you just like that. So it could be something big, but then they turn into something maybe smaller but more impactful.
yeah, there was the so the whole reason that they were in the mall and freaking out and they were going to go see this movie was that there was going to be an explosion at the mall, and they were trying to stop the explosion at the mall that was going to kill everyone in the theater. And nobody learns, like, you escape death and now death is coming from you, so then you continue to try and help people escape death, and you just make it worse, and you make the list bigger. You're not helping anyone. Death is still coming for them. Like, just let them die.
Yeah. At this point, yeah. Like, I do like how they show the kill at the very end with the 3 main characters, with like the truck, but then it's like skeleton X-rays and a bunch of cool shit. I do like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because like you said, the domino effect. This is the kill with the movie theater and the explosion and all of that. That was very much kind of like the setup that we saw with like the tanning bed, where it all just kind of fell into place slowly and things kept happening. And no matter what they did to try and stop it, death found a way around it and redirected whatever it needed to get the fire over to the shit to cause the explosion. And they stopped it. Everyone lived, or so they thought. We saved everyone. Yay, we're going to go have a drink. And then, as Katie said, they get plastered.
Terrible. It's also just a terrible movie.
And
also,
did we mention the mechanic?
Yeah.
The
racist.
With the air tank?
Oh,
no, we did not.
No.
The air tank hits him, and then it cuts him into pieces because he's like trying to get on the fence.
Oh,
Yeah.
It just hits
that
him, and
one.
then
Yep. Am I misremembering? So I know the 5th one has a huge tie-in to another movie, but were they in Paris at the end when they were sitting in that? Like, did that somehow also tie into something that happened in the first movie or anything like that?
No.
For whatever, and I must be misremembering for some reason, but I thought like they were sitting there and like something happened outside that was reminiscent of, at least if not, like one of the deaths in the first movie at the very end. Like maybe it was Terry getting hit by the bus.
No, I don't think that's this one.
You know what? I think I found it. Hold on. The plane explosion at the end of Final Destination 5 fully rules.
Yeah, that's the next one.
Yeah, that's the next one.
Yeah.
No,
that I remember.
This one I don't think has any like tie-ins to the other ones.
I don't know why I thought
it's
because like the 5th one, he's like a chef and he wants to go to Paris, kind of thing.
But yeah, no, we'll get there. We're
Yeah.
I don't want to jump out of that because that is one of probably the coolest things about this franchise, the way that they did that and tied everything together. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, like I said, this is the one that I always forget about, which is probably why I'm misremembering how that whole thing happened at the end. It's in 3D. It is what it is. If you're gonna watch the franchise, check it out. I mean, it's still a Final Destination movie. That's the thing. Like, this movie is not about plot or story or character development. It is about the kills and how awesome the kills can be, and that's why you go watch it. And there are a lot of really, like, even in the initial racetrack shit, there are a lot of really cool kills that happen in this movie. So if that's what you're there for, this will give it to you. And if you're down for getting in 3D, you'll get it in 3D. Tim really liked, guy getting his asshole stuck at the bottom of the pool. That was his thing.
Well, I mean, the fifth one's also in 3D, which, like, I don't know why they decided both of these need to be in 3D.
Because it adds, in their opinion, to the effect of the movie when all of this fucked up shit that has you anxious and on your seat is now poking out in your fucking face. Birds flying up at you and all sorts of shit.
I don't like it.
Final Destination 5. I mean, we already spoiled it. So essentially, the end of this movie leads to the surviving characters getting on the plane that explodes in the first movie, and that is how death kind of ties everything up, but it also initiates the first movie. It comes full circle. Like, you don't know that this movie is taking place essentially as a prequel until you get to the end and you start seeing the characters from the first movie boarding the plane, and then you realize what the fuck's going on. So the whole plane explosion that happened was death trying to wipe out the people that survived the bridge breaking down in this movie, and then everyone in the first movie that freaked out and got off and survived. And it was all a chain reaction. Like, it all just kind of, and it's so cool that they did that. That's one of my favorite fucking things about the franchise, that the end of the last movie that's come out, because we're getting a 6, is the start of the first movie. Like, that, it's insane to think about.
And Tony Todd comes back in this one.
And Tony Todd comes back in this one. We love us some Tony Todd.
Hell yeah.
So essentially, everyone's going on a work trip, right?
Yep.
They're on a bridge that's under construction, which is one of my wife's biggest fears, is going over bridges, especially over bodies of water like that, especially under construction. And she hates shit like that. And the bridge collapses and a bunch of people die. And of course, one person on the bus has a premonition of all the fucked up shit that's going to happen and how everyone's going to die. And they all get off the bus. The bridge starts collapsing after they get off the bus. So they still have to, like, race to survive the bridge collapsing. Like, they're not just free and clear and the bridge collapses behind them. Like, they're all very much in danger. Death is really trying to make sure he finishes the job. And then those that do survive go on to get murdered one by one until we get to the end of the movie where they get on the plane. What about this one? Favorite kills?
Come on now. I got to mention the gymnastics death.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's this one.
Where the spine just pops out of her body, basically. And the way that it just coincides with everything around her. And that's how she dies, taking a nosedive, essentially.
I was going to say, which brings us back to essentially what I believe is just Bakley's favorite way to kill. This was the one in the movie where all of this stuff was happening and you didn't know which one it was going to be, and it wasn't anything that you thought it was going to be that ended up leading to the poor girl's death. Like, there's powder blowing and there's nails on fucking balance beams and all sorts of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the air conditioners and whatnot.
I want to know if you really splat like that. Like, was she really going that fast around those fucking bars? Like, would you really splat like that?
I don't think you would have your spine popping out, but maybe like you break your neck, maybe. but that's about it, I think.
I don't necessarily think it would be like that. I guess it would more so would depend on how you land when you're spinning back down. But like, it's fucking nasty regardless. Shit. Ugh. But this is the LASIK one. I'm never getting LASIK. I refuse.
Okay, so I'm just letting my eyes be fucked up. Fuck it.
Yeah, at this point, I'd rather go blind. I'm already a quarter of the way there in one eye. It's fine. I don't care. I'm not getting LASIK. Poor girl ends up getting like the laser in her hand. Ugh. Ew. Gross. No, thank you. I don't like it.
Also, I want to point out that Nathan, the best friend who gets like the supervisor job and people don't fucking like him that are working for him and all that, is also in Friday the 13th, the remake.
Is he?
I believe. I'm double checking that. Yes,
So...
there it is. He's Lawrence in Friday the 13th. The one that he's like, can't get a handle on me, and then gets the axe in the back. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful kill.
Yeah.
That's right.
Or,
yeah.
Oh, you think because I'm black I make rap music? Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. What kind of music do you make? Rap. So that was a nice little that's a nice little aside for me there, because I love seeing people from other films that I really enjoy.
Yeah. In
different roles.
I mean, a lot of people in these franchises were in other horror movies. The third one, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, was in The Thing prequel, technically, and Black Christmas, whatever fucking year that one was, 2005 or something. Yeah, there's like almost every movie has at least like one person who's in like a kind of major horror movie or remake in some way, shape, or form. So that is really cool to like see them in different horror movie roles. I was like seeing that too.
I'm not gonna lie, I was really happy Dennis died. I didn't like Dennis.
Dennis,
the manager.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Not a fan.
Yeah,
and Isaac. Isaac was a fucking scumbag. The dude with the glasses.
Yeah.
Like
the Buddha statue right in the face.
Yeah, with the fucking massage and the pins and trying to get a happy ending.
That's not a happy ending for him.
It was not a happy ending for him.
Not a happy ending for him. But this one also has, so in the second one, it's a new life has to be born to end the cycle of death. This one, Tony Todd's like, you have to take a life that wasn't supposed to be in this to end this. And then that causes the best friend of the main guy to be like, I'm killing somebody. And he ends up killing a cop. And then tries to kill the girlfriend. Great.
Yeah. That whole scene in the restaurant where that whole thing's going on, really fucking cool. Because Sam, being the good guy that he is, he's like, I'm not going to... Listen, I was with the friend. I will kill somebody. Like, is what it is. A life for a life.
He also wanted to kill Sam's girlfriend because in Sam's premonition, she didn't die. So he was like, well, why the fuck does she survive?
Let's not call her Sam's girlfriend. All right.
I don't remember what her name is.
Well, no, they weren't together. She kind of dumped Sam right at the beginning of the movie.
They kind of rekindled at the end.
Well.
But at that time, when he tries to kill her, they're kind of rekindled.
Okay, fair enough. I was just gonna say, she did kind of dump his ass like right before the trip.
Literally in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. So. But hey, he found his passion. He was going to go to Paris. He was going to do his thing, and then a plane blew up. So, like...
And then a plane fucking exploded. Who would have thought?
I just remember the one with Roy and Nathan, where he thought Nathan was going to die. He was going to fall and get impaled by spikes. But then that crane falls down and hooks Roy right in the bottom of the neck, and it goes right up.
Yep.
And Nathan winds up living through that.
But then dies because the plane debris falls on him from the fucking explosion. Which, what the fuck? That sucks. It's terrible.
Yeah. So are you guys excited for Final Destination 6?
I'm intrigued.
I'll always be excited, and I don't know. To me, it's always going to be hard to compare to the first one for me because of how like that set the bar, and then you didn't know what was going to happen in the series until you saw it, and then every other one, like you said, was just trying to top the next one. But I've been intrigued to see where they go with it.
Yeah, because like the fifth one was the tie-in back to the original, so we were like, "Oh my god, crazy! What? Now there's not gonna be any more." Oh, just kidding. Here we are, and we're getting a new one.
Yeah, but how
So-
many years later? Final Destination 5, I think, was 2011.
I think so.
So we're,
Yeah,
we're
just-
12 years out from our last Final Destination.
What? I mean, they could definitely get more creative with all these goddamn kills.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's gonna be fun to see. That's the best
Yeah.
part. What kind of disaster is gonna be in the beginning?
And with how movies
Oh.
all now with the CGI and everything, they can get very creative.
Just don't do 3D.
For
Please.
the love of God, do not
Please
do
no.
3D. We don't need that anymore.
I'm excited for it. I'm always excited for any new horror movie, any extension of a franchise, any new ideas brought into this. Like we said, so Bakley, you said the original is probably your favorite, right?
Yeah.
Katie, your favorite?
I think it might be 1 or 2. I don't know. Depends. Because 2 has like more kills that like are interesting to me. 1 is the one that starts it all, so I don't torn between the two. They're tied.
I'm actually gonna go with 5 because I feel like there was more character and story development in that than anyone else. And then the way they tied 5 back around to 1 for me really worked, despite the fact that, you know, the whole take a life to save a life didn't really pan out. So that felt kind of like a waste of time. But with there being a new film coming out, we talked about it, like, this is not really a movie that you're going to go sit down, that you're going to, you'll contemplate the movie afterwards, but only because of you're going to be driving around looking at everything that you fucking see,
Mhm.
trying to figure out how it could possibly kill you. It's not going to like give you existential crisis about your life and what you're doing with your life or how you treat people. It's not a thinker. You're going in there to watch people die in various brutal ways and try to survive. That's all you're in this for. And as long as it delivers that, I'm excited and happy for it.
Yeah. I don't know if this is one I can go to the theaters for, because I'm like, I don't know if I want to leave my house when I watch this. I just want to like sit here and be like, oh my God. And like,
Oh no, I'll be
I
in the
can't-
theaters.
I mean, I more than likely will because it's me,
Yeah.
but I like watching movies by myself in my house so I can just like audibly gasp and things and express my concern.
That's the crazy thing, though. Despite the fact that I watched a Final Destination movie where they went to the movies and died in the movie theater, I am going to go in the movie theater and watch a movie about people dying.
Well, they only died in the premonition. They didn't die in real life.
True. Well, yeah, but you still saw.
I'm just
That
saying,
it could happen.
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that could happen. Terrible.
You guys got any final thoughts on Final Destination before we wrap this up?
I always thought what they would have done had Devon Sawa actually been in the second one, how they would have changed the movie. Would he have been in more than just the first and second movie? How they would have changed the series would have been.
Do you think that if he was available, he would have taken Clear's spot or Ali Larter's spot, and that would have maybe that was the role for him that he ended up not taking, and then they put her there?
I've thought about that could have been that, but then how would they explain her? Would she have just lived, or would they have flipped it where they would have explained how she died?
Yeah, I'd probably go with, I think she was meant to be the one dead, and he was meant to be the one that survived and was hiding in the mental institution. And probably because of her death, he realized that was the only way to keep himself safe, kind of like she did, you know?
Yeah.
If that was a role that they wanted for him. I wonder if, you know, they would have killed that character off if he had played it as opposed to her, or if they'd want him to kind of stay on and be this guiding force in future movies to help people figure out how to beat death. But he never, that's the thing, he never, because he was, if he was in Clear's shoes and we saw what happened to Clear, you never beat death. You don't.
Mm-hmm.
Except for 2 where they beat death. But other than that, you never really beat death.
Yeah.
You might delay it, but it's going to happen sooner or later.
Yeah.
Would you have liked more Devon Sawa in the franchise, Katie?
Yeah, I fucking love Devon Sawa. Especially now what he's doing, like, which every character he is on Chucky, 10 out of 10. Beautiful. But him in Final Destination, it would have been very interesting to see, because there's like deleted scenes in the first one where he like full on dies after he grabs the cable, and then Clear has a baby, and that's a whole fucking thing, and that's yeah. But no, it would definitely, I think it'd be interesting if they had both of them survive and both of them be in the second movie. Like, you can still have Clear be in the asylum, and then have Alex, I think his name was, just doing something else.
You just really love you some Allie Larder. That's what I'm getting out of this.
Yeah. Have you watched Resident Evil? I fucking love her.
I've watched Resident Evil. I've watched Varsity Blues. I prefer her in Varsity Blues over Resident Evil, but...
Okay, well, that's your prerogative. I love Allie Larder.
Is there anything you don't want to see from this movie?
Ooh. No 3D. For obvious reasons.
You want more eye stuff, Katie?
No! For the love of God, no! There's gonna be. I just know. There's gonna be at least one. Probably 2.
Of course, no repeats. Like, that's something that it's a similar way that somebody died in a past movie, but they change it up a little bit. I want some creativity.
Ooh, what if they had, like, each character die in a way that somebody died in the first movie? So, like, one person dies from how they died in the first movie, and then, like, take one kill from each movie and kind of put it with the characters, but, like Bakley said, put a twist on it.
Would you be okay with that, Bakley?
I'd be okay with that.
I don't know. I don't want to see any exploitation of like I don't want this to take place during COVID. I don't want this to be like any sort of like trying to make some sort of statement. Like, let it Final Destination be what Final Destination is. Don't try and make this something more than it has to be, with some kind of moral point being made, or, you know, taking shots at whatever. Like, don't get me wrong, it's very clear where we stand here over at Creation World, but like, I don't need you guys like doing something with guns just to like be like fuck the NRA and gun control, or, you know, something with the fact that women have no rights in this country anymore in certain states, to make that point. Like, that this is not the forum for those kind of points to be made.
No.
And we have a tendency to do that in movies, so.
Yeah. Hear me out. What if the kill in the beginning is on a boat, like Titanic style boat?
What if the movie is Titanic, but we find out who survived in Titanic, and then we just follow everyone around that survived on Titanic as they slowly die?
I'm just trying to think of like different things to like, because we already did a plane, we already did a bridge and on the bus thing, we already did a roller coaster. Racetrack was very unique and unplanned. Huge ass traffic disaster. I'm trying to think of like something else it could be.
Well, you've got planes and automobiles. The only thing left is trains.
Could be a train. Well, not a subway. Never mind.
Derailment. I mean, subway still counts as technically a train, but some sort of mass derailment, either underground or above ground, with like a passenger train.
But they did that in the end of 3. Because she has the premonition, and then it ends up coming true.
Yeah.
So, like, would they do that again? I mean, probably, but yeah, I don't know what it could be.
You're making a war movie.
What the fuck? No.
Yeah. They're all like over fighting a war and somehow survive something that they weren't supposed to, and then they're out in the middle of like a desert or fucking Russia somewhere in like the cold, just trying to survive, and death's coming for them, but also so are the Russians.
Just make it like The Thing. They're in the tundra, and they all start dying one by one. Bring back Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Oh, jeez.
They'll never know.
Oh, I'll know.
Well, we'll know.
We'll know. All right, I think this has gone far enough off the rails with ridiculous theories on what the next movie could be. Bakley, please tell everyone about what you're doing, what you got going on, where they can find you.
You can now find me on, of course, the Bloodline Entertainment Network. I'm still doing Cage My IQ, but I just started it this weekend, 60 with Dirt Sheet Dan. I'm doing TikTok where I'm doing 60-second videos on just news and rumors in the wrestling world, going around finding stuff, digging stuff up that is true, and I can find out that it's true and not just lies that we find on the internet. So I'm doing that with the Bloodline Entertainment, and of course I'm always on Circle of Debate, doing of course the New Japan show, New Japan Weekly, and the MMA show as well.
Dan Bakley, for those of you who don't give a shit or don't keep up with New Japan, is a great way to keep up with what's going on over there in Japanese wrestling and all of that. A lot of great knowledge over there. Also, I said it before the show, but I didn't say it on air, so we'll say it on air. Happy birthday, Bakley.
Thank you
You
very
just
much.
got back from a birthday dinner to come here and do this show with us. We appreciate it. Katie,
Ew.
what time is it?
Is it time for me to plug myself?
I didn't know if you were going to say it.
I mean, seeing as how I let you slide with that title yesterday, yeah, I mean,
True.
Everything's off the table this way. You can follow me on Twitter at GatorAssin13, the link tree in my bio to get all things She Late Showcase, twitch.tv/She Late Showcase, typically Thursdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, youtube.com/She Late Showcase. Watch the videos because they're way more entertaining. Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts if you want to listen. She Late Showcase is the brand on the weekly show. Inside the Mind, it was an interview series I do. Storytime with Katie Kinsey Baby is a little story time thing I do, little YouTube exclusives. They're like less than 20 minutes. Everything else on the channel. I don't even know what's going on the channel anymore.
I hear well, I don't know. Well, I'll leave that be. There was discussion at the end of the night before I had to go to bed, so
Nothing's been set in stone.
we'll see what happens with that, but that'll be interesting to see how that goes. You guys can follow me at Matt Ritter on Twitter only. That's MATTRIDDER, or at Getting Off, because this is the Getting Off podcast, the #1 horror podcast on Pornhub, where you guys can find us at pornhub.com/model/creation world. Katie, I talked about it. She hates it, but it exists. We have 2 porn watch alongs with Katie the Rack and various guests. Will was with us for Evil Head. Vince popped in with us for a little bit with Juss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Reek hasn't shown up for one yet. To do the Texas Dildo Masquerade. You can only find those on Pornhub, but you can find all of the other content from Creation World on Pornhub. Linktree/Creation World will get you everything you need Creation World, whether it is here live on Twitch or YouTube if you were watching us live or even after the fact, because YouTube and Twitch are the only places that you guys can find the Getting Off podcast. We appreciate you. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, get us some views, get us in the algorithm. If you enjoyed what we did here, go check out the rest of our shit. We've got a bunch of stuff that we've been working on. This is episode 11. We just did a whole month of Evil Dead everything, so go check that out as well. For my favorite soulless ginger and my favorite loaded baked potato, I am fully loaded baked potato. I am the patron saint of podcasting, the Ward Matt Ritter, and this has been your #1 horror podcast on Pornhub. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Thanks for coming on, Bakley.
No problem.
I really feel like the way the show started just kind of, and then Juss, like everything just kind of.
Yeah. There's not 11 of these.
Right? And that's not counting the Pornhub exclusive stuff. And yeah.
So that would make it 13 if we counted those.
That is correct.
Damn. Look how far we've come. What was the first one we did? Jackie? No, it was...
Oh, it's Scarlett Bordeaux's birthday today, too. Look at you, Bakley. Good company.
Love her.
I mean,
Mine was the other day, but
I know technically it's not,
Yeah.
but you celebrated your birthday
share-
today, and I didn't get to say it on
I'll
air.
share that.
So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I share birthday with the guy that's out until next year. So
Which guy's that?
Bobby Roode.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday.
Yeah. Fuck
Neck
that.
fusion bullshit.
Second neck fusion in a year.
Which, like, I'm assuming the first one just didn't take because, like, he wasn't doing anything that could have fucked his neck up that I know of. I mean, maybe outside of the ring, but not inside the ring.
The first one was for his C6 and 7, I think, and this one was for his C4 and 5. He talked about it on his Instagram post. That's the only reason I know this. I do my research, actually. I'm a journalist.
I'm glad you do because I don't.
And
Yeah, I know.
He's not young anymore, so at that age, it probably takes longer to heal.
How old is
from
Bobby Roode?
He's old. I think he's like in his 40s.
He's in his 40s.
Yeah.
Which
You got to remember he started in Impact.
being 36 now, that doesn't seem that old, but
26.
He's 47.
Oh wow, yeah, 11 years older than me.
I was gonna say I remember him wrestling in like the late 2000s.
I don't. I wasn't watching anything besides WWE.
Yeah, that's back when it was him and Beer Inc. That's what it was. Him, them two, AJ Styles, and then Frankie Kazarian. They were like a stable.
Well, there was Beer Money.
Yeah.
Him and James Storm.
Yeah, and they were part of a Fortune, which was them two, AJ Styles, and Frankie Kazarian, and then kind of Christopher Daniels.
Christopher Daniels has like the weirdest career in wrestling ever.
Yeah,
He was supposed to be the fucking higher power. He was kind of a part of Fortune. Whatever happened with him in AEW, like
Permanently fucked up his eye.
yeah. He kind of like he's semi-retired, but then he does the indie scenes. But then he's like the number 1 or 2 guy in the back, where he sits with Tony at Gorilla.
Yeah, they showed it. They showed it in on All Access or whatever the fuck they named their show. Which I kind of want a second season. I love that shit, so I was about it.
So what you tell me, Bakley, is Christopher Daniels is either really into cocaine or he's Tony's supplier.
It's probably the second
So,
one.
probably second one. He supplies them.
I can see Christopher Daniels like having a nice hookup for coke, knowing a few people. I can see that.
I mean, he's been around long enough. He's got
Yeah,
it.
he's in his 50s.
He is in his 50s.
Any big plans for Mother's Day tomorrow, you two? I mean, I know
Right.
I was gonna say I know you're not celebrating with,
Yeah.
but your mom.
Go to my mom's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going to my mom's, just doing like a brunch / get together with family.
Tomorrow, we're not, nothing that I know of, but Tuesday is my sister's birthday, and she's turning 30, so we're all going out to eat, and we kind of decided to just do, like, her birthday and Mother's Day at the same time. So, like, we're going to get, like, my mom flowers and, like, a few things just so she has tomorrow, and then the actual gifts we got her, we'll give to her on Tuesday.
Getting married and having a child is so crazy because, like, it's Mother's Day, right?
Yeah.
So now I went from having one mom to worry about to three that I have to take care of. Because, like, I have to acknowledge that my wife is the mother of my child and appreciate her. Because my child isn't old enough to do that. Like, she's only 2 years old, but
yeah,
she gave birth. She went through all that. So, like, we spent the day celebrating her today because tomorrow we're doing, like, a late lunch with my mom and stuff like that. And then her mom wanted to go do some stuff with those two today. So, like, we did that. So I bought gifts from my daughter for my mother, my wife, and my mother-in-law. Then I also took my wife out and bought her a bunch of other shit today. So, yeah, it's been a very expensive day, but she really enjoyed it, and that's all that matters. Because
that is all that matters.
Yeah. And granted, like, I'm single now, but I still got my kid's mom something. Same reason.
Look at you.
So, be nice. Got my
You're
mom
not,
something.
Look at you. You're a good ex. I wish I had exes like you.
Yeah, got my mom something. Got my mom something. Of course, Wednesday's my oldest son's birthday. So mine was Thursday. His is Wednesday. So I got stuff going on for that. So it's like busy week.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. But we got the brunch tomorrow, so we're gonna do that. My mom she actually came by today, and I gave her Mother's Day present from Zoe today. Well, we were doing all that stuff because, like, they told me it was gonna be brunch, but, like, it's not brunch when it's 3:00 in the afternoon.
That's just lunch.
That's late lunch. So
it's like the in between, like you have like brunch is like the breakfast lunch, like it's like the in between lunch and dinner.
It's
like
dinner.
3:00. Yeah.
And I got her this. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's like that in between where it's like it's too late to say it's lunch, but then it's early for dinner. But then if you eat at that time, it's like how could you eat dinner?
Yep. I got my mom this thing that says Grandma's Garden. It's a stone. It's all decorated. It says Grandma's Garden on it because my mom has a garden. She loves gardening, from Zoe. And I figured it'd be easier to give it to her when she stopped by today so she could take it home and figure out where she wanted to put it than, like, giving it to her at the lunch and then having her carry around a stone, like, plaque thing all day in a box for whatever else we do for the rest of the day. So,
I mean, that makes sense. Very nice of you.
I try to be thoughtful. I'm not as thoughtful as Bakley. I don't think I've dated some. I dated grandma. We talked about this on post shows. I didn't buy any of them post relationship Mother's Day gifts, though. The grandma did get her gift on Mother's Day when that happened. So, like, that was the thing.
I would say in regards with that, we do have 2 kids together, so
Yeah.
I put it as from me and the kids.
I mean, I have one kid out there that I know of, and that's with my wife.
It's the one that's sleeping in your house
right now. Yeah. The one that was driving me crazy today. My mother-in-law can get Zoe to eat anything. Like the other day, I come in and she's eating like fucking shrimp tempura and dumplings and shit that my mother-in-law brought over. And I can barely get her to fucking finish her chicken nuggets, which she asks for all the time. Like whenever I ask her, what do you want? Chicken nuggets, waffles. That's it. Like those are the only two things she wants. The only thing that I can get her that she will eat is a cheesy roll up from Taco Bell. We were gonna go to Red Lobster after we left the mall and did all that shopping and shit, and then they told us there was like an hour and a half wait. And my wife's like, "Fuck that! I'm not waiting an hour and a half." Like, we'll figure something else out because she loves crab, so I was gonna get her crab. Zoe on the way there saw Taco Bell and she's like, "I want Taco Bell." And we're like, "Well, we're gonna go get crab, so you're not gonna get Taco Bell." And she was not happy about it. So then when we left, I was like, "All right, if you want Taco Bell, I'll get you Taco Bell." She will smash a fucking cheesy roll up. Like I can get her taco, she'll eat the insides out of it, maybe half of it, depending on. But she went through 2 of those motherfuckers, and it's like the only thing I've ever seen her eat.
She's actually gonna fucking smash a cheesy roll up.
Yeah.
It's crazy how like my one niece, she like my sister started taking her to like a food therapist thing because like she wasn't eating like anything. She's 6, she's turned 7 this year, so she wasn't really eating anything. So it's kind of just like to get her to try new foods and eat things that's not just cheese. I don't know what it is with kids and cheese. It's all the kids. And then my other niece, she will mainly eat chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, McDonald's French fries. That's mainly it.
But yeah, no, my mother-in-law gets Zoe to eat all sorts of weird shit that I won't even eat. Like Zoe was like 1 year old eating edamame, and fucking my mother-in-law was like, "You want to try something?" I'm like, I don't try new things like that. That's not who I am. The fact that I tried a new Chinese restaurant today when we got back was a big deal because it took me a long time to even start eating Chinese or finding something that I enjoyed at a Chinese restaurant. Love me some crab rangoon though. I couldn't get crab, so we got crab rangoon, and
it's the next best thing, I guess.
Kate loved this place out by our old house. It was like the only Chinese restaurant she would go to. So I was like, well, here, like, I stopped. There's this like mom and pop ice cream shop by us, and she wanted a shake. So we stopped there, got her a shake and everything. And I was like, I'll order this. I'll order food for me, and then you can have some of what I get and see if you like it. The sweet and sour sauce is exactly like the one from the other Chinese restaurant that she absolutely loves. We've tried it. I've tried, like, experimented. Not a huge fan of how some places do crab rangoon, but this one did it really good. So the crab rangoon was good. And then I got honey chicken, which was actually really good, but it only came in a large, and I'd already gotten the fucking sweet and sour shrimp and the crab rangoon. So like, I have a shit ton of chicken left over since I was the only one eating.
Yeah.
I gave Kate, she ate two of the 6 crab rangoon and then a couple pieces of shrimp. But other than that, like, but she tried it and she liked it. So now we have a new Chinese place to go to when she's in the mood for Chinese. So
Well, that's good.
yeah. I just randomly picked it off DoorDash too. Like I was like, you.
There you go.
Worked
That's what
out.
they do sometimes.
So
I will say that's how kids are though with eating. Like my youngest won't eat that much. Like it's either he sees that his brother's done eating that he wants to just be done, or he's very picky and he wants to eat certain things. Like it's crazy. Like I would make like chicken and like vegetables, and he'll be like the opposite. He'll eat the vegetables and then not touch that, and then won't eat the chicken. But then we'll come back like an hour later, and I'll be like, "You just said you're a fool." But then when he's with his grandparents on the other side, do whatever, they'll get him to eat. He'll listen. It must be like just a parent thing, or we just started potty training, and I couldn't, for the love of me, I couldn't get him to go on the potty at all. Sent him to his grandparents for 2 days. He comes back. Now he potty trains. Everything. He can't get number 2, but he'll go number 1, and he'll tell me now, and I'll be like, "What's your secret?" Oh, we just had him do it. I'm like, I'm glad you can get him to do it and not me.
yeah. We're working on the potty training thing too. Zoe's excited to do it. The problem is she waits till after she's already gone to tell us. Like she'll shit in her diaper and then be like, "I gotta poop," and then I go there and I take her diaper off. I'm like, "No, you already pooped. So you have to tell me before this happens." that you have to go, so we can do
My
this.
my son will go in his room and hide, and then come out and be like, "I pooped,"
Yeah.
or
It's a kid
not
thing.
be
They
like,
go hide somewhere and
Yeah.
do it. It's very, very odd. Children are weird.
Yeah. But all right, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. I got to get up tomorrow with Zoe so that Kate can sleep in and enjoy actual Mother's Day a little bit longer. And also, my nose has been running from my allergies, fucking with me. So, take care of that as well.
Okay.
But thank you guys.
yeah, Happy Mother's Day to her.
Thank you.